It's
It's
party.
WrestleMania week.
What the fuck is up with that Def Rebel
So,
fucking entrance music?
so I couldn't use the one we used for the show because we would get tagged for copyright. I couldn't use the one I use for shots fired. We get hit for that one too. So that is a creation of a 1 a.m. bored as fuck garage band piece of shit and intro.
So Def Rebel.
Yep.
I thought you can use a song up to 30 seconds before you break copyright infringement.
No, because I've been copyright infringement for my own things. Like it's very weird with Facebook. Like
I thought the rule was
we got hit with copyright on a video from our own show, posted on our own account from Facebook.
Zuckerberger.
Like it's ass backwards. Right. Charlotte, you two want to kick it off, get it out of the way with your Eric Bischoff shit? Bobby.
I already told him. The only thing that I disagreed with was the fact that he said that that Eric Bischoff didn't contribute in killing WCW. That was the only thing that I disagreed with.
He was a massive issue.
I mean, he was, but
I mean,
that
there's a reason they brought in Russo to begin with.
yeah. But I told him yesterday that was the only thing that I disagreed with was that how can you say that he didn't? He literally did.
My point was that he wasn't giving a shit about Dynamite last night. And
He did.
while he was the executive producer, he wasn't the actual booker. Yes, he made decisions, but Kevin Sullivan was the booker. I'm not saying that Eric didn't have his hand in the pots of where WCW went to, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the AOL Time Warner merger, WCW may not have gone out of business.
Well, no, because I mean that's different. We're not talking about that. We're sure surely are talking about the fact it doesn't matter if Kevin Sullivan is the booker. At the end of the day, those decisions still run through Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff, I mean everybody pretty much says that. Everybody pretty much says that if AOL didn't merge with Time Warner, that they would still be in business. Probably so. Also, I mean, you was right because this morning Eric came out with a statement congratulating Tony and his crew on surpassing Nitro, but he flat out said that he doesn't care. I didn't agree with that. I mean, I didn't disagree with that.
Yeah,
I
because
knew he wouldn't care.
a lot of people were saying, "Oh, look, he has to say it that he has to spring up the fact that he doesn't. It doesn't bother him. That means it really does, and they don't realize that it's Conrad asking him if it bothers him, and that's why he's answering. That seems to be a big discourse in the last couple of days. People don't understand what the difference between interviews are with people answering a question versus just simply making a statement.
Here's the problem. Here, it's not necessarily a problem. Here's what I think. I think that Eric Bischoff has so much wrestling history that he is comfortable living in Montana doing whatever the fuck that he wants to do. Eric Bischoff gives his opinion. If they call him in to do something, he does it. But at the end of the day, Eric Bischoff, he could hang his hat on the fact that, hey, I beat WWE for 83 weeks. Nobody else has ever done that.
Exactly.
He doesn't. I don't. Eric Bischoff doesn't strike me as a person as a type to. I mean, he strikes me as a type to kind of dwell in the past a little bit, but it's not dwell so much to the fact that it gets to him. He don't care. That
Which was
man
my exact point.
that man is in Montana or where the hell he's at, living his life on his farm. That man does not care.
He does his shots with the MLW. If WWE needs him, he'll go in for WWE. He's fine. He's doing his shit with Conrad. That's why I said it's not bothering. It's like bringing up the fact that he broke up with his girlfriend 25 years ago and found out she's dating someone else. He doesn't care. It's water under the bridge to him. I've listened to his shit enough to realize that. Just because he's been so critical, and he has been super critical of AEW, doesn't mean he gives a shit that they surpassed Nitro. But anyway, do we want to talk about WrestleMania or do we want to talk about Dynamite?
Really talk about Dynamite. It was a great show last night.
I know. I agree. I have two small little tweaks that I had an issue with, but otherwise, I thought it was a near perfect show. I didn't understand how Moxley, after all this time, they rang the bell after 3 seconds.
Because he fucking passed out. That's why.
So Moxley, the guy who's been
That man went limp.
what?
That man went limp.
They don't fucking want to kill him. I don't know.
I don't think he should have been the one to eat the fall there. I also find it hilarious. You had like Kevin Knight running out there popping bottles because he won the trios.
Yeah, like that's what I don't. That's the other thing. Why are we having this big "we beat everyone" situation for the trios title? But this is something you do when someone wins the world title from Moxley, not because the trios title.
Right? No one popping bottles when Moxley loses the title.
So that's the one thing that I didn't get either. Why we're having this big, kumbaya celebration over the trios title.
So let me pull up the match. Actually, before we start with Mania, I think we should probably just start with Stand and Deliver, since it is a part of Mania weekend.
I didn't have that up.
So let me pull up that fucking card. Okay. Do we give a fuck about the pre-show match?
Actually, I think we should talk about the pre-show because I've seen a lot of discourse over the fact that the original people have this idea that the original plan was Roxanne was going to be facing Bayley at Mania, and now she's been. You okay? I said Bayley's name. He got excited apparently, and now she's on the pre-show for Stand and Deliver. And people got to understand, and I'm going to use the word, things pivoted. Pivoted plans. She's going to the main roster after WrestleMania.
I think she's going in as a tag team.
Yeah, that's why I think they're winning it.
I think they win the titles on Tuesday. But that match is Metaphor versus Fatal Influence versus Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Fatal 4-way tag team elimination match for the pre-show. Winner gets a WWE Women's Tag Team title match the next Tuesday on NXT.
Which is in Vegas still.
Yep. They're going to be in Vegas for Tuesday?
Yeah, for Tuesday.
Oh, wow. I thought they were going to be in back in Orlando.
No, I think they're in the hotel where they're doing everything that's not like.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be Roxanne and Cora for that one.
I'm wrong. It's at the T-Mobile Arena.
You want it to be You want it to be Roxanne and Cora.
I think that's the one that makes probably the most logical sense. Because I don't think you're moving Metaphor up yet. It looks like they're kind of teasing a breakup with Fatal Influence. And then I don't know what the hell's going on with Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan now.
They're just there.
Because like they had Shotzi, now Shotzi's nowhere to be seen.
The reason I think this one is hard to call is because they don't know what's going to happen with the tag team title match at Mania. And I think depending who wins that, it's easier to call who's going to win this match. Like if Liv and Raquel lose the titles, then I think Roxanne and Cora Jade are winning this match because you're going to have the heels against the baby faces. But Metaphor could win. It's hard. For me, it's difficult to call this one. I'm still going to go with Roxanne and Cora Jade, though. But I have no idea what they're doing with the women's tag title at Mania.
Nobody does. That's
I think they just threw Bayley in there just so she was on Mania.
What they did with Io in a triple threat match. Just so they're on the card.
Oh my gosh, quit complaining, bruv.
Get up and be a fan.
You should be a fan. He was talking to you.
He's talking to you.
You look at him. You talking about look at him. He's talking about just be a fan, quit criticizing everything. What's the first thing you do? You jump on the damn internet, go to the admin chat, talking about what's wrong here. What's so tone deaf? This is a bad press week for Wrestlemania.
Bob, don't mind Bob. He's having a rough day. His tribal MAGA went off.
At least he's got the video to like denounce Roman now, all set up.
Samoa and Hogan.
I'm not gonna denounce Roman. Why would I do that?
Yeah, they vote the same. But
They're not.
the next match on here is the ladder match for the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship. It is Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hill.
Again, another one that's tough to call.
It's not tough to call. Zarya's winning.
Yeah, it's a two-person race.
You really think Zarya? They've been building Sol Ruka and her in a tag team. I think Kalani Jordan is the front runner for this.
No, they already gave her a moment. I don't think they're giving the title back to her. I think they're probably going to start building her for the main title soon.
Do you think they go Thea Hill?
I think it's between Zarya and Thea Hill.
It's not gonna be Thea Hill. It's gonna be Zarya.
I think it's going to be Zarya. They gotta. She's part of the quote unquote big three sign, well, big four signs you want to count Jordan Grace, and she's the only one that hasn't really done anything significant. So this is their chance to do something.
Yeah, I think Thea has a good shot as well. Otherwise, why bring her back for the ladder match strictly just to lose? But Zarya was a big touted one, so that makes sense too. I just thought they were going with Sol and Zarya in that tag team, so they're not going to push with that. But who knows? They could pivot.
Perfect. All right, next match on the list is the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie Victoria versus Julia versus Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker.
Why did we take the title off Julia? She was out for 3 weeks.
Because they didn't know how long she was going to come back.
I feel like this seems like a massive misstep because she was like back at that PC like what, a week and a half later.
Yeah.
Listen,
But
I think they just wanted to give. I think they're moving Victoria up, and I think they wanted to get her the NXT Women's Championship before they move her up.
who, Stephanie?
Yes. This 4 people in the match, 2 out of the 4 I think are moving up.
Stephanie and Julia? Or you think Julia's going to stay for a little while?
I think Julia might.
Bruh.
Julia, you probably have to move Julia up.
Did you say Julia is no? Julia is not moving up yet.
I mean, there could be a chance that 3 move up and Jada Parker wins.
They're not. They're not moving up for y'all. Are acting like y'all do this every year.
Oh fuck it! The show just started.
People do this every year. They're gonna move up this many people, and then they only end up moving up like one person.
But here's the thing: you have to factor in the fact they have 2 women's mid card titles now. You got to factor in that now they're already planning on doing an all women's pay per view.
They don't fucking put. No, that doesn't mean shit because
they don't need to bring people up to have for the all women's pay per view. You could still have the NXT.
Wow, thanks, Brandon.
I don't think they will. Because isn't the next night supposed to be Heatwave?
So I don't think that matters. They've had the January event back to back with the Royal Rumble, and we've seen people in the Royal Rumble.
Rumble appearance is one thing. An actual match you're building towards that event is another.
I don't know. Let HB Shizzle cook. He probably has something in the works.
That man can cook. His Instagram searches are 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do they put it right back on Julia? I mean, if they really did change the plans because they thought she was going to be out longer than she was, and that was the only reason they put it on Stephanie, then you're gonna put it. Then they just put it right back on Julia.
Probably.
But I
It
don't
wouldn't
think
be.
Stephanie's winning this match.
It wouldn't be uncommon. I don't think Stephanie does. I think Jada's in the match to get pinned.
I want to say Jada or Jordan Grace. for this.
Jordan Grace is not getting pinned.
No, I mean to win.
You said Jada or Jordan Grace to win?
I think there's a legit. It's a long shot, but I think there is a chance that they're just gonna call all three up at the
They're
same time.
not. They are not. God, you
But
are
Jordan Grace winning
overstating.
is realistic because then if you move Stephanie and Julia up, he already got a built-in first championship feud between Grace and Parker.
They're not moving. They're not. They're not gonna gut their. They're gonna move Roxanne Perez up, and they're gonna move up. If anybody's moving up in the match, it would probably be Jordan Grace because Jordan Grace was not set to be long in NXT anyway.
I mean, 2 out of the 4 are moving up.
They're not.
I disagree. 2 out of the 4 I think are moving up.
Well,
What 2? I don't know. I don't think Jada Parker's moving up. So let's be honest. Really,
No.
2 out of the 3 minus Jada Parker in this match is most likely
you're
moving
just
up.
you're just looking for your next Becky Lynch. Okay, guy.
No.
Yeah, you're looking for your next Becky Lynch because you're hoping
don't
that
need
many will not move up. If it was a draft, okay, I would say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're
The
going,
draft is like in 2
that's
weeks.
where they're moving up. That's
No, it's
how
not.
they're moving up through the draft.
They
The
haven't
draft's
even
going to be in May,
they
probably
haven't
after
even
Backlash.
they haven't even announced the draft.
They're going to probably announce it the night after Mania.
They're not doing a draft. They just did the fucking.
They're going to do a draft. It's going to be stupid, but they're going to do a draft.
There's no point. They go to each show anyway. What's
I
the
know.
point?
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
Look, for some reason, they just forgot how to do actual brand splits. That
I'm gonna
concept
say this.
actually died in 2009 for some reason.
Whichever one of Stephanie and Julia do not have the title is the one who's going to be moving up.
If you're wrong, you have to acknowledge Roman Reigns.
I already lost
Already
that bet
lost
2 years
Roman
ago.
No. Quit being a wimp. Do it again.
Dude,
Already
yeah.
acknowledged him
That
live
was a
at the event.
different bet. That was a
I did
different
it at
bet.
Backlash in Rhode Island. I acknowledge Roman.
That was not you. Not everything is not about you.
Everything is about me. It's my show.
The person that's
Producers
probably
in the back.
the person that's probably realistically moving up is gonna be Jordan Grace. It's probably gonna be somebody. It's probably gonna be somebody obscure, somebody that they don't even fucking use much. It's probably gonna be like Izzy Dame or something that you just don't see coming.
That would be, you're asking that one to fail if you're moving her up right away.
They did the same shit. They did the same shit the last draft.
Oh, what's her face? Kiana James got injured literally like right away. So it's not really on them. And then they, for some reason, they just had nothing for Blair Davenport.
Which makes no sense.
And
Why
then
not just put her back in
They
NXT
brought
then?
up Lyra, and Lyra's your Intercontinental Champion.
Because that's what they have.
Crowd's finally getting behind her a bit.
Because that's what they have Shotzi for.
Yeah, Shotzi will probably be. Shotzi will get the Apollo Crews call up.
Well, is Shotzi still considered on the main roster even though she's down there since her injury?
No,
I
she's
mean, that was
back
where
in
she last appeared
NXT.
before her injury.
Shotzi's in NXT. Come on,
But
man.
I'm telling you, Bobby, they're gonna gut this NXT roster.
They're not gutting the roster. I'm sorry.
They are. They got people coming in.
They're not
They
gutting.
literally have a developmental show for their developmental show
It doesn't
because of the amount of talent they have in.
They're not gutting the roster.
They're not going to
They're
cut
gonna
it, but
they're
there's going to
gonna
be a lot of
lose-
people
they're-
going up in the next couple of months.
They're going to lose a lot of big names.
There's not.
But that's the cycle of NXT. You lose the big names, you
got it.
build the new people, and that's how it is. It's how it's been for 10 years.
They're
Like
not.
this, the match we're about to get to next. The match we're about to get to next, I wouldn't be shocked if a certain team's going up, but I hope they don't, considering who the hell they're facing. And the next match is Fraxium versus Hank and Tank.
Listen,
Bobby, name your favorite Hank and Tank match.
I don't even know who the fuck Hank and Tank are. They're so stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Another
Wasn't
heavy,
one of them like pretending to be a security guard and then
They
he
s-
became a wrestler?
Yeah, one was the security guard. The other one, I don't know where the fuck the other one came from, but one was a security guard
they
at one
sound
point that became a
they
wrestler.
they sound like heavy machinery.
They're
They're kind of
no,
similar,
they
I
remind
guess.
me. No, they remind me. I don't know why of like a rip off Nasty Boys for some reason.
Well, if Fraxium loses, they're coming up.
This would be.
They both
Of
were
course,
just on SmackDown.
of
I
course
think
they
you
are.
kind of. I think you kind of have to. Like, what's really left for Fraxium besides
There's
breaking
nothing
them up?
left for them down there.
Of course they are. LWO needs new members.
Nathan Frazier will get put in a mask.
You should. They're good.
But no, I had Fraxium losing at Takeover to justify their call up, but the fact that they're facing Hank and Tank, I'm kind of hoping they win. No,
They're just a heavy machinery ripoff. Like
they're not even having. It's I don't know what they are. Because at least heavy machinery was funny.
Yeah, but
Bruh.
they've been building Hank and Tank. They've been having all these tag teams come down, giving them.
They've
bruh,
been
they're
losing.
literally there's
They were
literally
losing.
they're literally heavy machinery versus Hank and Tank. They're literally using the same moves. Like what the fuck are we doing?
Hank and Tank were losing. They finally won a tag team match, and it was that gauntlet match this past week. That was their first win in months.
It's like, I don't know what they're doing with the tag teams down there. There's like no tag teams that I could think of besides Fraxium.
Well, that's where you're wrong because there's Hank and Tank.
Yeah, and there's the D'Angelo family. There's Dark State. There's No Quarter Catch Crew. There's Sean Spears' group. Couldn't name a fucking member in that one besides Grace and not Grace, Spears and Izzy.
You know what? NXT is full of a bunch of YNs. Am I lying?
Calm down, Marcus.
Am I lying? Am I
No.
lying?
No,
Brandon's like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
you're not.
I think I figured it out, but
It is a bunch of YNs.
But like, I don't
Jay-
know what you're
Jay-
doing with the
Jay-
tag division, but you shouldn't keep Fraxium down because of your inability to actually build tag teams.
okay, so they go up. They have to go to SmackDown. They're too small to
I
be
feel like you. I
on
feel like
Raw.
you can mix around the tag division come draft.
Santos Escobar needs new talent.
Penta and Ray Phoenix are going to build a super group to match the LWO.
Axiom is Spanish, not Mexican.
Was it? Isn't one of the members of LWO fucking Filipino?
Yeah,
Thank you.
What
So
is-
it doesn't
Jordan
matter.
Wild, whatever his name is.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's gonna be with Santos Escobar.
I think you probably put Fraxium on Raw. There's no other tag teams on Raw right now besides New Day and the Viking Raiders.
Theory and
LWO?
Waller.
LWO doesn't really count. You don't even know who the fuck's representing them as a team.
There's two
Listen.
teams in there.
There's no fucking team. Dragon Lee
That's
Dragon Lee's just sitting in catering, taking up space.
The LWO is the Let's Drag Rey Mysterio to the Finish Line group. That's all. I don't know why LWO is still together.
I don't know why they remade it from WCW because it was the reason that it worked in WCW is not working in WWE.
good at first, and then they did the Santos
That
split.
shit. Quit lying. Quit
It was
fucking
fine.
lying.
It was. They were
That
over.
shit was
It was
never
over.
good.
It was over.
That shit was never good.
But it
Stop
was over.
lying.
It was
So,
over.
to you because I mean, well, it doesn't take much to entertain you. You just
It
like
was
why
over.
you just like YN's entertaining you.
They need the LWO so someone can turn against Rey Mysterio.
Every few months.
Yeah.
I don't care. Rey Mysterio's a horrible dad.
Terrible, terrible father.
All right. Ricky Saints and Ethan Page.
Yep, that's another one where
Ricky
Bobby's gonna hate
Saints.
this. Someone's going up, and it's gonna be Page.
He's not. I see. I disagree. I don't think he's going up yet.
Oh
What do
yeah,
you
he needs
What do
to
you do
go
with
up.
him?
He's already dude.
He's still doing. He's doing some stuff in TNA right now, so he's not going to go up right now.
They're
It
not doing the
doesn't.
draft. Yeah, he's doing TNA. Was it this Friday or is it Thursday? Isn't that title match this week, or is that the following?
It might be the following. I don't think it's WrestleMania week.
But the draft's probably going to be after that. He'll do the
Y'all,
TNA shit, and then he'll move
y'all
up.
are y'all. Ethan Page is going.
I told
up.
you you're going to hate this.
Ethan Page. There's not going to be a draft. I'm sorry.
There's going to be a draft.
There's a draft
gonna be-
every year. What do you
it's
say?
gonna
There's
be
not going to
as
be a draft.
dumb
No,
as
no,
last
it ain't
year's
either.
draft.
It ain't no draft.
It's going to
every
be
year.
as dumb as last year's draft where no one moved shows.
Like 3 people. Well, obviously
I got
Ricky
Ricky
ain't
Saints.
dropping the title right this quickly. So
No,
Speaking of Ricky Saints, how do you guys think he's doing so far?
good.
yeah, he's fine.
They're not going to let him fail because there's a perception that WWE. That is the one good thing that I can say about going from AEW to WWE. They're not going to let that perception, like, oh, you're going to get lost in the crowd. You're going to get lost in the crowd when you come to WWE. They're not going to do that. So Ricky will be fine.
The one thing I wish for Ricky, I wish he started off as a heel. Because he's a way better heel than he is a babyface.
He probably is, but give him time. He will be a heel. That's why I realistically think that's why Ethan Page won the NXT title. I think that it's because of the fact that they wanted the perception of, hey, we're going to create stars over here, and you're not just going to be another person on the roster being in a random tag match or being on Collision, not building a story or anything.
No, he probably is once he moves up to the main roster. But
He's probably what?
you know, Ethan Page, he'll probably be a main event staple.
No, he probably
show
is.
main event,
There's-
not the actual main event.
He's going to be a main event. They're not going to put him on main
Because
event. They're
like-
not. No.
Like we discussed, even with the
No.
moves up, there's still a lot of people up there.
It doesn't matter, but they're gonna move them to the front of the line. I'm telling you. Why do you think Jade? Why do you think? Listen, think of who has come over from AEW. Jade, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is what? Cody Rhodes is WWE champion. Jade doesn't even have a fucking title match at WrestleMania, and she's on the card with Naomi. They are building
God
this.
for Naomi for
They're
getting that match over.
they're building this perception that if you leave AEW and come to WWE, we're gonna make you a star. And I think that the reason being is because of the fact that so many people that have said that they've said, "Oh, we're interested in WWE," they're going to AEW, and that probably rubbed WWE the wrong way. So WWE's like, "Well, we're going to show you what we're going to do with your stars." Because if you think about it, who that has made the jump from AEW to WWE that has failed? Not saying fail to connect with the crowd. I'm saying fail to consistently be on the show on a regular basis.
Andrade, maybe?
But they're building something with Andrade.
They're
right?
building something with Andrade.
I don't know what they're doing with Andrade. Oh, they're doing the fucking
He's basically going to take
No,
over
Phantasma
Legado del Fantasma.
I think so. Like I think that they're gonna do something with Andrade, and I don't count him because he was like I don't know, like it's
I'm trying
crazy.
to think who else because there's Lexus King. There's
And
Slugger.
what
But
exactly? And let's go down the list. Lexus King. What is Lexus King doing? What is he right
He's at
now?
the Heritage Cup.
Bingo. Jay Cargill. I think this is the first women's match in WrestleMania history that's not a title match. I
No,
could
it's
be
been like
wrong.
2nd.
years, something like that.
No,
It's
no,
like
It's
six.
been a long
it's,
time.
Yeah,
it's the first since WrestleMania 22 when I want to say it was Tori Wilson versus Candice Michelle in the Playboy
No, no,
Pillow
no.
fight.
Okay, but I'm talking about a. Okay, well.
That is
I thought
considered.
I read
Yeah,
it was like
Oh
6 or 7 years since it's the first women's match. It's not a title match.
no, that's the first because that's the first since 22. I think that's what was discussed because I'm trying to think
I don't count
23.
that. That's because she was in Playboy. I don't
Well,
count.
I don't know. Do you count the random like tag team matches as one? Because those involved like the Vicky Guerrero and Snooki bullshit. You had
Mm,
the one with Snoop Dogg and Santino Marella. What was that? The like lumberjill match or some shit at
okay,
24.
okay. I see. I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, either way, she 7 years. Jay Cargill has a singles match. Her first singles match is at WrestleMania.
How much
Co-
pressure is on her right now for that?
A lot,
Because if that fails,
a lot. But I don't think Naomi is going to let that fail.
I mean,
Can I
Jade's look good, so I don't think
let,
she's
let
gonna have any issues.
first off, you and Wade Barrett kill me.
What I do?
Her name is Naomi.
Yo, it's the white and
Wade
Nicole
Barrett,
first.
Naomi. Let me tell you something about Naomi. It is
Yo,
Naomi. I don't know how. Why is that so hard to? That just irks me. Like her name is Naomi, not Naomi. Like what, bro? There's no I in her name, and
Actually,
I
there
mean
is.
there is at the end. But let me tell you something about Naomi.
look, it's
Like,
better than
bro,
when Regal used to call Umaga Umanga.
Umanga. That was funny. Let me tell you something about Umanga.
Yeah, but
Now we're on like
at least
the
Barrett's
AEW.
excuses is he's British.
My excuses, I'm white.
So
But
the
speaking of the AEW thing, the rumor coming out, might as well jump to this while we're talking about it. The Mariah May is apparently on her way to WWE sometime in the summer. What are our thoughts on that? Do we actually believe
I don't believe
that
anything till I
report?
see it. I don't believe anything till I see it.
Well, like I said earlier this week, I think it's leaning more towards true than not because I don't believe that she would not be on TV in some fashion for the last 6, 7 weeks if she was staying. If she gave her notice that she doesn't plan on re-signing the contract and that the Hollywood ending was her Hollywood ending, then that's the perfect way for her to go out. But I do not think that she would not be on TV in some way in the last 7 weeks
Oh,
if she was staying.
Look, it's the
I
crackhead,
do
y'all.
100%.
Hmm?
It's the crackhead in the comments.
Saturday, Shane will be on Saturday,
He's
along
dealing
with
with some
Patrick.
merchandise being stolen right now.
A co-host
Along with
that
Patrick, I think.
a co-host that actually shows up.
I haven't seen Duffy in months.
I don't even remember what he sounds like.
All right. Yeah, so next match, I could really give two shits about this match, but it is the D'Angelo family versus Dark State.
Dark State's winning. Stax is turning against Tony. End of story.
What is Dark State made of?
It's Dion Lennox, who was the dude that
Well,
just chilled in the background and read books.
you're proving my point.
Cutler James, who I'm pretty sure is on that LFG show right now.
Hmm. There's like one white. There's
And
like
then like
one.
two other guys I've like never
Shaquan Sugars and Ostris Griffin.
There's like one white guy in the group just so they didn't make it blatantly racist.
Yes.
Yeah, they're YNs.
Premium Shield.
I mean, they're taking four guys who have no real stock and they're putting them together to try to build them into something. I mean, it's what developmental's for.
Hope?
So,
do you have any hope for them?
I don't have any hope. I think
look at that group and the appearances they have made within the last, I don't know, like 2 months, 3 months. Do you see anything?
I haven't seen enough of them, to be honest with you.
Listen, I don't know because I said I didn't see enough of Hit Row, but then they made it to the main roster, so you never know.
For 5 minutes. Either way, they've been building this angle that I've seen that Stacks is making decisions on his own without Tony's thing. So I think Stacks is going to turn against Tony.
How? Like, no, I mean this probably in like the nicest way.
Hell no.
How far behind is Tony D'Angelo that he's the only one of the original building blocks of NXT 2.0 for the male side that he's still in NXT and it doesn't look like he's going up anytime soon?
Andre Chase is too.
Well, they're rebuilding him. They're doing something completely different with him.
I thought they're doing Chase U again because I thought that's why Thea gave him like her blessing this past week.
They really?
Yeah. They have those two. They have those two LFG guys or two Evolve guys who've been around.
They had the dude that like Braun Breaker killed in his debut match.
But the problem with Tony D'Angelo is the fact that gimmick I don't feel is something that's going to transition or translate into a main roster gimmick.
That's because they need Brandon's relatives to come in and show him authenticity.
I'm not even Italian.
You're part of the mob. Yes, you are. Quit lying.
I'm not in a mob.
It's the Irish mob out of Boston. Have you ever seen The Departed?
This
is you guys' problem.
Do you know
like one Boston movie and you guys are like,
do you know? Well, hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute. That's disrespectful. Do you know who his grandpa is?
I'm not related to him.
You are related to him. Exactly. Yeah, you are related to him.
I've never met him.
This man
doesn't mean you're not related to him. Just because you never met him.
This man,
no one in my family has ever met him.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Sure. I'm just saying we've never seen a picture of your grandfather. That's all I'm saying.
You'll see him at the wedding.
Are we sure? Or is that a hitman? Better yet, I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to ask too many questions.
Yeah. You get targeted.
Come here, you mook.
Bobby be pulled to the side during the ceremony.
Tony, but back on topic, I agree with Brandon. There is
like
I don't know. I don't know.
He's the only one to beat Oba.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Oba's only loss is to Tony D'Angelo.
Like, and there's legitimacy there because he's on the show every week. I mean, and he was the NXT. I mean, he was the North American champion. So here's my thing.
Very bad one.
Here's my thing. We can speculate what's going on, but we don't know what the criteria is for them to call somebody up. We don't know. Hell, for all we know, he could be saying in NXT to bring the new kids along. It just may not be his time yet.
Was he trying to say he's like the new Alea?
Probably.
Or it's just gonna spend like a decade in developmental.
No, but I don't see them releasing him. Because
I don't think he'll be released because his character is over with
that's what I'm saying.
But like at some point you're gonna run out of stuff with him. You ran into that when you in the old NXT where you held Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Undisputed Era down well beyond the point where they should have been moved up.
No, I think they didn't want to come up.
I think Triple H protected those guys.
I was about to say, I think Triple H kept them down on purpose.
I know he did.
Why do you think he was like, yeah, you want, don't take on speed. You want Karrion Kross after like 1 month and us pushing him for no right away? I take him.
I know he did because
Keith Lee, like right after winning the two titles.
Who is a fucking main character guy? And by main character, I mean that somebody almost everybody knows. And he spends his whole career in NXT and then leaves and goes to AEW. That is wild. That to me is still wild about that whole thing.
Well, I mean, it was either that or he became Bearcat Keith Lee's manager.
Oh, we're talking about Adam Cole.
I think if Cole never left and he wasn't forced to be a manager, he'd be killing it on Monday Night Raw right now. Yeah, he'd be on this card, WrestleMania card. Yeah, but I don't see him ever return to WWE.
No, once he's done with AEW, he's going to retire.
Yeah, I don't.
Why?
He's away from it.
I don't see any.
So
any of them.
I have a question. Why? Because there was something that was not discussed. Why the hell did he beat Garcia?
It was just time. Cole needed the win.
He did not.
And Daniel Garcia's reign for the most part
buried the TNT title.
Feud, yeah, aside from the Adam Cole feud, Daniel Garcia's reign for the most part was not good.
It did nothing for the TNT title. It's almost forgotten about.
Yeah. Cole needed the win. Cole needed the win and the title.
And honestly, if Cole didn't win it, there's nothing else for him. He's like almost gone. There's nothing else. The MJF thing blew up because he got injured. What else are you going to do with Adam Cole if he loses that match?
Make him Bearcat Lee's manager.
I miss Keith Lee.
He came from.
I don't know if he's definitely still in AEW. I think.
Yeah, he's still with the company. He's just still injured.
That's a dude. That's one. When he comes back, they gotta finish that like Swerve Keith Lee story from like 4 years ago that they never finished.
Let's go back to that.
Now that's something.
So they never finished it, even when they
that
were.
That is something that would have made sense if he would have screwed Swerve and came back as a heel. That shit would have made sense.
I don't know if Keith Lee would work as a heel though. I think just like his presentation, the way he like talks, I don't think it would work as a heel.
Cody's working as a face, and the way he talks is condescending.
Yeah, but we also know the day Cody finally turns heel, it's gonna hit like crack, like Brett Duffy today.
He's gonna be. Oh, leave my friend alone.
So apparently in January of 24, he had double surgeries and has been out since, Keith Lee. But don't know what the double surgeries were.
He's probably due to come back, unless it's like something like medical. He's probably due to come back soon, I'd guess.
Is there really unless you do what you said and put him in against Swerve, is there really even a place for him in AEW right now?
Yeah. You got about 6 or 7 groups. Put him in one of them.
Yeah. Put him with the Hurt Syndicate. Next match in the main event is Oba Femi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans.
Guess who's getting called up?
Trick Willie.
Yeah.
Trick Willie's going up. I think he's also eating the pin.
Yeah, Oba's going to retain.
Y'all are basically saying that there's somebody almost going up from almost every fucking match, and that's not going to be the case.
Pretty much is. That's usually
there's not. I can't wait to prove you wrong, and I'm gonna be like,
The only
Brandon.
match there no one's going up is
Okay,
the D'Angelo family versus Dark State.
there's not, and watch D'Angelo be the one caught up. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be like,
He's fucking hilarious.
and I'm gonna
Without
be
the
like,
family,
fucking got you. I
without
told
the
you.
family, because the other three aren't ready.
That probably so. Without the family, probably so.
But you do agree that Trick Williams is getting called up on this one.
Yes,
Trick
Trick
is
Williams. Trick is getting caught up. Yes.
I got Oba winning this one.
Yep.
Oba is gonna win.
Yeah.
I
think
feel
that
Oba will be up by
If Vaughn finally wins, it should be 101.
That YN is not gonna win.
It's a young OG.
Let me pull up the WrestleMania card.
Speaking of cards, what do you think about that new thing that came out this week where whenever somebody has a debut match, they're gonna wear the rookie patch on their trunks, and then I guess the trunks are gonna be sold on cards or something.
They got a big deal with Topps,
Those
so
101 cards. I think it's low key stupid.
I do too. They turn everything into an advertisement.
but that's how it is. That's how they are now under TKO. Did you see they announced the official law firm is Morgan and Morgan, and they're gonna have the Morgan and Morgan on the mats. They just did a whole. They just re-upped with cricket.
Oh, I just want an 80-year-old woman giving birth to a hand again and getting power bombed through a table. That's all I want. That's all I want. Shout out to you,
Is
Jamie.
American Beard still the official beer of WWE?
It is. They still have the commercials during Raw and SmackDown.
Bobby's Laker brother.
Lakers.
So
Bobby got to do a fucking double duty Saturday night.
Mm.
That sucks. At least for the Celtics playoff game, it's on at 3:00 Sunday.
Nobody cares about that shit.
So I get to watch it before WrestleMania.
Oh, nobody.
oh, you mean not watching Stand and Deliver?
On Sunday?
Oh, I thought. Sorry.
No, I'll watch Stand Deliver Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Hall of Fame Sunday morning.
I am passing on that show.
I'm not staying up till 4 in the morning to watch the Hall of Fame.
That's a joke. That shit's on at 1.
It's a joke.
They should have just done it in the afternoon.
They should move it to Thursday nights. That should be the first thing of the weekend.
Or just move the SummerSlam weekend.
They're not
Announce the class at WrestleMania weekend and then put them all in SummerSlam weekend.
I mean, SummerSlam is going to 2 nights with this year, right?
Yeah, they're MetLife.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's going to be 2 nights.
Yep.
I can't wait for the Royal Rumble to start going 2 nights.
That one feels like a force. I think SummerSlam Mania should be the only 2-night events.
Royal Rumble's gonna have Royal Rumble match on both nights.
Sooner or later we'll get like a whole week of a fucking event. 7-night event.
I mean, WrestleMania basically is a 5-night event at this point.
No, it's
Not really. There's nothing. It's really like 4. I don't
Well,
know.
they
They
said-
count Friday.
What they put? The pre-show is pretty much SmackDown at this point. Instead of having pre-show matches, they have the pre-show matches on SmackDown.
Speaking of that, who we got winning the Andre Battle Royal?
We don't even know who's in it.
Bobby's. I don't know who's in it either.
It's everybody.
Bobby's favorite match of the weekend.
Listen,
I'm gonna call it because I've been thinking about this actually. I think Bronson Reed returns and wins it.
I think they hold off on his return until after Mania.
Because you got a lot of people coming in after Mania, so why not bring them back?
Bronson won last year. I don't know.
Did he?
I don't think they're gonna do back to back.
Wait, did he win it last year?
Yeah,
I
Bronson
got-
won last year.
I got a theory on who's facing Randy Orton, and it's a pretty good one.
Well,
Actually, yeah, because we're doing WrestleMania 41 next.
I think Aleister Black is gonna face him.
I still
I mean,
think
I'd
it's going to
like
be
that.
Solo.
But I still think he's a SmackDown after Mania return. I think it's more realistic. It's Rusev than it is Black.
because they've been
Because at
teasing
least
Black.
Rusev, no, at least Rusev, you can probably eat the L going right off the bat and be fine. Black, I don't think you can because his presentation when he was on the main roster last time, majority of the fan base saw him was trash.
Not if you have a hard fought match. There's a way to lose and protect. Tony Khan's the master of that. You should look it up.
Here's Shane making his six-sided ring debut this Saturday with his brother BT.
You're BT, so thank you for proving that.
No,
Yeah,
you're BT.
No, I'm not. I'm Rando Brando. It says it right there.
We're all brothers.
You're Brandon Tony Khan
Yeah.
Taylor.
MAGA Bob ain't talking shit, I hear.
Bruh.
Maybe no. I don't think Ray Phoenix should win the Battle Royal.
Anyway, I still think it's going to be Solo against Randy.
It doesn't matter what you think.
I don't. I think it's gonna be someone somewhat outside the box. Because once again, they did the Solo tease last week. Like, what's holding off on just saying, "Oh, Randy versus Solo"? There you go, need them match.
Because they're trying to build a small, quick story to lead to Mania, so they got to finish the story this Friday
There's
to announce
technically somewhat already a story between the fucking two.
So, that's what I think. I think since he's interrupted and got involved, if they didn't get involved and it was going back and forth with Aldis, then I would have leaned more till, okay, maybe they are going to pull the trigger to give Aldis that match. But Aldis ended up just being on the side, agreeing to the tag match, and then was never seen about it the rest of the night.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Let me pull up the Andre Battle Royal first, because I'm pretty sure Fuckface won last year.
There was no Andre. There was no Andre Battle Royal
Yeah, there
last
was.
year.
They do it every year now on SmackDown.
No, they didn't. It was no Andre the Battle Royal last year.
Yeah, there was.
2 years. There was.
Yes, there
not.
was. 30 was Cesaro. 31 Big Show. 32 Corbin. 33 Mojo. 34 Matt Hardy. 35 Braun Strowman. The 1 year they didn't do it was 36, and that was the COVID year.
So then they didn't do it every year.
37 was Jey Uso. 38 was Madcap Moss. Yep. 39 Bobby Lashley, and then last year 40 was Bronson Reed. So this year will be the 11th.
I forgot that it was Bronson Reed, to be honest with you.
I forgot Madcap Moss won that fucking thing.
Yeah, that went nowhere.
I remember Mojo winning it.
Because that's when Gronk came in, right?
Yeah, that was a Gronk. That was a Gronk interference. And then I remember when Corbin won. That was when we got the Shaq Big Show showdown, like 10 years too late.
And I honestly have no idea who's going to. I don't think they're going to. I forgot Bronson even won it, so I don't think they're going to do back to back.
And could he be the first one to actually do it?
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Yeah, Ivar was the runner-up last year.
Right, because that's when his partner was still out with the neck injury.
I still prove my point. You said
Hey,
they
Bobby,
have
could you guess the 10 runner-ups?
Sure.
Okay.
One was a wrestler. 2 was a wrestler. 3 was a wrestler.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
He's gonna keep going. He's gonna have one wrong.
Keep going. He's gonna have one wrong. Just give me names.
I'm not giving you no fucking name. I don't know. I don't even remember Matt Hardy winning this shit.
That was the Bray Wyatt interference. When
That's when
Bray
Bray
Wyatt
became
returned,
a
had like
babyface.
his short baby face run.
Oh, that
Okay.
was. I remember now.
I'll go through year by year. Just guess any name. Okay.
I'm not gonna guess any name.
Yeah,
I don't.
you are.
No, I'm
Who's
not.
the first?
I
Runner-up,
don't
WrestleMania
know.
30.
I don't know.
Bobby.
Why? I don't know, man.
It was one of the like semi good matches
Bruh,
that Mania.
I don't remember runner-ups, bruh. I don't even remember all the matches from
Just do
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 35. Braun Strowman won. Tell me who was the runner-up for that one only.
I don't know.
We just told you.
It was Bray Wyatt.
Oh wait, no. I thought you said Bronson Reed. No, you said Braun Strowman. Never mind. Guess the runner up for that one because I don't think you will.
I don't fucking know. Like, what why
You're
is
wrong.
this?
Okay. Hall and Jost.
Who just fucking knows this shit about matches on the pre-show?
I don't even think that was that was pre-show.
The only match, the only one that I was
Yeah, it was the only
interested
time
in,
it was on the main card was 30 and 32.
the only one that I was interested in was the one that Cesaro won
That was the
Which was the
first one.
first?
because he was super over.
Oh
And
God, I have to. I have to agree with Shane, and I feel sick to my stomach. I think it might be Sheamus.
Joe Hendry. Doesn't Joe Hendry have like a torn rotator cuff? They're not fucking putting him in that.
He's defending the title next week
he's gonna
against
be
Ethan
champion.
Page.
Maybe Sheamus.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta. Sick to my stomach, but I gotta agree with him. I
Oh,
think it might be Sheamus.
oh, you love agreeing with Shane. I see.
I really don't.
I see. Go ahead with your bad self. You
All right.
love agreeing with Shane.
Are we ready for WrestleMania 41?
Not
Let's do
really, but I'm gonna watch your shit.
Okay. Night one matches. So we'll kick it off. Oh, well, Randy Orton versus whoever. Who do you think?
You know what? I could say something right now, Shane, but I'm gonna let you slide. Okay.
Oh, shit. What do you think?
Oh wow, he's talking
Oh, wow.
smack.
The last person that told Bobby he wasn't a real fan, Bobby told him their mom burn in hell.
I did not. I did not. I do not remember that. I did not.
Randy's gonna win whoever he's facing.
I think it depends. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think it depends. If it's Aleister Black, I think Orton's losing. That's the only one I think Orton would lose.
I don't see Orton. Honestly, I just don't see Orton taking the kick to the face.
He's already took a kick to the face.
No, I'm talking about like the black mass kick.
So he would probably take it the same way he took Trouble in Paradise.
Honestly, if he's not on the Mania card, Solo could be the answer for the Andre Battle Royal.
Sure,
But,
we'll go Solo.
First match for WrestleMania Night 1, Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso.
Jay.
It's got to be Jay at this point. You're doing all this. How do you not pull the trigger on it already?
It has to be Jay. Jay loses, that's it.
Might as well just put him
you
back
can't
in
call
a
yourself main event Jey Uso and lose every big match.
It's gonna be Jay.
It's gonna be Jay. Does Gunther bleed in this match?
It's gonna be Jay.
Does it open?
No.
No. No, I think Jay's winning this match.
But does it open the show? Is my question.
No.
Yeah, it's already. I think it was already announced. It was opening the show.
Where?
Source. I think Triple H announced it in a interview he did with
Source
Rosenberg.
Source.
I just told you. I'm pretty sure he announced in that interview.
No, that's not good enough. Source.
Triple H is not a good enough source.
Girl, you sound like Russo. Believe me, bro.
Listen, bro.
I always thought this should open. I think with the crowd as fresh as possible, to have Jay come out is the best thing to do.
Looking at this, the Night 1 card, it's really the only option. Because the other option would have been Roman Punk Rollins, but that's main event.
What about Tiffany and Charlotte?
That's on Sunday.
No, it's not.
That's Saturday. That's probably the co-main event, if we're being honest. That'll be the match right before the triple threat match. All right, next match on here, the War Raiders versus the New Day. for the
I
World Tag Team
think the New
titles.
Day. I think the New Day is gonna win.
I'm gonna say the War Raiders, and I think Big E shows up and costs the New Day.
They're not. He's gonna be on the fucking pre-show. That is
So
ridiculous.
he can't be on Mania because he's on doing the
No,
pre-show.
you. Let's be realistic. No, he's no. You have these like the what you hope will happen, but it's so far outside the box.
Is that really that far outside the box for Big E to come out and cost New Day the match? Is it really
Yes,
that far outside the box?
yes, especially when.
He
Go
doesn't
ahead.
have to get physical with that. Like
I know.
he came out, distracted him, and then bing bang boom, 1, 2, 3.
It's not like I'm saying Moxley is going to show up to help Seth beat Roman. That's outside the box.
That was
I
ridiculous
I
last
think
year.
I think that knowing Triple H, I think what he's gonna do. I think that the War Raiders have had a nice run with the tag team titles. Nobody cares about them. I think that the New Day is gonna win. I think that the New Day is gonna win because they are booed as fuck as heels. Holy shit! What the hell is going on? Are y'all like on the same wavelength or something?
What do you mean?
Look what Shane put. You're right, Brandon. They are brothers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So agreeing with
yeah.
someone makes someone a brother. Get out of here.
Soon
Dude,
they're
and
gonna
when Patrick comes on, they're gonna be triplets.
soon they're gonna be like finishing each other's sentences.
Dude, they're gonna be the new NWO.
The
You are
Shane
so gay.
the Shane and Brando connection.
They're the Wation of domination.
The ration. The ration. Listen, big New Day. I just don't see New Day not winning. They got momentum behind them. They're heels. They're doing good heel work. I think they're gonna win.
Here's my thing with the Big E theory. Leave it alone. Because if there's nothing really coming from it, what's the point of Big E coming out and costing them the match?
So he could get his comeuppance for the way they kicked him out.
But he doesn't need it if he's not ever returning.
Exactly. It's
Unless
not
he's returning, that makes sense. But if he's never returning, there's no need for him to get his comeuppance.
exactly. It's not gonna lead anywhere. Why would you do a dead storyline that's not gonna lead anywhere?
Because their heel turn was to close the page on waiting on E to return. So we're just gonna have E show up at WrestleMania 41, cost the match, and then nothing happens after that.
This is why
Like, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but
I'm
like it just
I'm
it
saying
doesn't
it's
make
not
sense.
gonna I'm saying it's not gonna happen.
Unless E comes back as a manager for someone. I don't think E wants to be anywhere near a ring unless he's wrestling again.
Exactly. He's not gonna be a manager.
What if E is cleared and helps the New Day? That'd be no offense. That'd be stupid. That'd destroy the New Day's whole heel turn run.
Yeah, then it's pointless.
Not necessarily.
But I don't think E's probably ever going to be cleared unless he gets the surgery, which he
Let's play
refused to
armchair.
get.
Let's play armchair Booker. You could technically convince. You could technically play like, hey, like Biggie came to his senses and realized that he wasn't there for his brothers, so he realizes that he needed to be there for him. You could play. You could play off that.
Good. But like that once again, that would also hurt the New Day's heel turn thing because
Not
no one's going to
necess-
boo Big E.
Not necessarily. That's the point. Not necessarily.
So you think the next night when they're on, well, not the next night, 2 nights later when they're on Raw, celebrating they won the tag titles, they're just going to get cheered?
No, they're gonna get booed. Big E would get booed because the whole point was
I don't think
people.
I don't think they just
Listen, autistic guy. I'm trying to tell you, you're not listening. To make it interesting, what you would do is that you would put Big E, you would have Big E in the ring that next night. The whole point of the heel turn is because of the fact that people love Big E and they screwed Big E. Big E would turn his back basically on the fans by joining his brothers. And his whole thing could be like, y'all never understood me. They were always here for me, and I had to look in the mirror and realize that I was selfish. That's how you build heat for him. He basically the fan. It's like, well, oh, so we basically support you because your brothers turned on you, but then you tell us screw us in the long term, and you fucking turn around and you join them. That's bullshit. That
Here's my thing with that. I don't think you should really do anything involved with E unless he's come to a mental agreement that he is done in ring and is willing to become a manager, or he's cleared.
well, I
If
was
the
just
whole
talking about.
point is him helping them out, and then we don't see him, which would likely be the scenario either or, if he goes against them and costs them a match, and he's just not there on Monday, then what was the point?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. This is what he's doing. I'm saying if I was playing armchair booker, that's what I would do. That's what I would do to make it make sense. Like if that was even not, and I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. It doesn't make sense if he's not cleared. But I don't even think this is going to happen personally. I think Big E's going to enjoy the show. They're gonna come back halfway through WrestleMania. He's going to be sitting in the where they always do the like the cool off or whatever, and they go over the matches that happened so far. I don't see
In
Big E
New Day,
coming
I
that
think I think there
exactly.
will be an interaction between them, but I don't think it will be what we think it is. I think it'll be like Bobby said, like midway through the show, they'll just cut to them, and then you'll just see the New Day like just come out of nowhere, celebrating the titles right in front of him, like rubbing it into his face,
Now I could see
like they
that.
didn't need him.
Now I could see that absolutely. I could see that, but him interfering in the match, no way. That just ain't gonna happen.
So,
All right.
time out for one quick second because we're on while Collision is on. Trent Beretta returned. Rocky Romero
Shit.
turned heel, and they attacked Ishii and joined the Don Callis family.
What?
So it was Ishii and Rocky Romero against Alexander and can't tell you his name.
Takeshka,
Takeshita.
Takeshka.
And after the match, Trent Beretta returns. He attacks Ishii with a wrench, and then he convinces Rocky Romero to join the Don Callis family with him.
Yeah, the reunion of Rapogi Vice. Woo!
So
What the fuck is the point of the Don Callis family? Let's take a break. What the fuck is the point of the Don Callis family? Talking about
There's
their
a bunch of people
killers.
they have no idea what to do with
I'm like, dude,
together.
you not even won anything. Like
it's the random heels that they have to throw in.
I mean, they have. I mean, Takeshita was the
they
international
have
champion.
they have Takeshka has aura. They have no aura.
Well, it depend on Kyle Fletcher.
He's on the rise.
And then they just added Josh Alexander. The Don Callis family is what they hoped the Jake Roberts whole faction group was going to be at one point.
I mean, they're doing something with him because every week someone's dressed up like Don Callis. So they're moving on something. I don't know what it's going to, but
They just lost Brian Cage because I think he fucked up his knee.
yeah, but
So
he
still
had
Brian
surgery.
Cage. They got Mark Davis.
Who's also injured.
Who else is in that group?
Mark Davis is injured too.
There's like 20. It's like the Wu Tang Clan. There's like 28 of them motherfuckers in that group.
Motherfucker said the Wu Tang Clan. I'm dead. I'm done. What the fuck you know about some Wu Tang Clan?
What do you know about the Wu Tang
What the
Clan?
fuck do you know about the Wu?
I know Wu Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
You are so white.
He's been. I don't know. He's been on his black trivia lately because I can't.
Now Bobby's still shocked. I knew who the fuck Dr. Umar was.
For real, because I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you know who Dr. Umar is?
So the next one is Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano.
I don't give a shit.
I could really give two shits about this match. This is what we talked about earlier with what the fuck's the name? Bailey, where they were just thrown in just so they're Bailey's on the card. This was just thrown in just so Rey Mysterio's on the card.
Do they end the Grande Americano gimmick now and have him unmasked?
Yeah,
I
this is probably where it ends.
I'm gonna say something. I think that I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that they're swerving this. I think that it's not gonna be Chad Gable because
Hilarious.
there was somebody on TikTok that was like they didn't do a side by side, but Chad Gable has a tattoo on his back, and one of the whatever the hell his name is didn't have a tattoo on his back.
El Grande
El
Americano,
Grande Americano
who is
didn't
no
have.
longer from the Gulf of America. He is now from the Gulf of Mexico. Sure, let it out. Let it out, Brando. He's
I
the
think
Gulf of
people are too
America now.
soft. It was meant to be a joke, and people take it too seriously and start complaining about it.
Wait a minute, did they really announce someone from the Gulf of America?
Yeah,
Yeah, when they announced
his
him,
first couple appearances, his very first appearance, he was from the Gulf of America.
and then I think this past Monday they announced him from the Gulf of Mexico.
Listen, you can't joke with politics now.
No, it's not like when you had not like the early 2000s or even 90s or
Hell
80s
no,
where you could.
like
You can
Muhammad,
now.
like Muhammad Hassan. Hell no.
I can't wait for that Dark Side of the Ring episode to come up soon. That's going to be a fun one.
All right.
Yeah,
Now
Rey
we're on.
Mysterio's win. I think El Grande gets unmasked.
Because how otherwise, where else you going with the gimmick, right? It's like there's nowhere else to go except for here.
Maybe the IC title. Who knows? Do what Gable couldn't do. Beat Luchadors and win the IC title. Who knows? But it feels like this is an obvious Rey win. Next match, Jade Cargill versus Bobby Sayat,
Nay, on me.
Naomi, Umanga.
Jade wins.
WWE's
Jade,
weird. They'll fucking probably have her lose.
Nah, I think Jade will get the win because this is really her first singles showcase that we're getting of her in WWE.
That's what
She's
they
always
basically.
had. She's always had Bianca. This is the first like legit match that she's had outside the Liv Morgan match she had a few weeks ago. That all eyes are going to be on Jade Cargill and how she looks.
Ain't that
And
the
there's
truth?
no one there to help cover it up.
Ain't that the truth? You don't need to cover it up. Oh, you talking about wrestling?
But Jade's going to win.
LA Knight and Jacob Fatu.
Before we get to that, does this match, regardless whether it's Naomi or Jade that wins, does this bleed over into affecting the women's world championship match the next night
No,
in
but
terms
No.
of like costing Bianca or helping
yes,
Bianca?
yes, yes, it does because that is the. I've been saying that all along. That is the real story. That is the story. Naomi versus Bianca. I think Naomi's gonna show. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think that now you want to talk about somebody interfering. I think Naomi shows up the next night and screws Bianca.
Screws her or helps her because she's trying to get back in our good graces.
I think she screws her. There's gonna be one or two things. She's either gonna screw her or she helps Bianca.
I still think this is leading to a Bianca heel turn in some way.
They almost have to now because she's getting booed.
Yeah, you're turning her, I think. The first non-women's title. Second, the first was the Playboy Bunny pillow fight back at WrestleMania
That,
22.
That's what I said to Lisa. We was right, but they're wrong. They only. I don't consider that a match.
It's considered a match. I mean, if the fucking pudding fight can be considered a match at Extreme Rules one year, I guess the pillow fight could be considered a one. Look at Bobby in deep thought. He misses the pudding matches.
The brown penny matches, yes, I do.
All right, U.S. title match: LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu,
It's
come on, man.
Jacob Fatu.
It's
Come on,
Jacob
man.
Fatu. I'll go
Don't do
step
all this
forward.
not to put the
Fatu
title on him.
wins, and he turns on Solo on Friday.
You mean maybe they turn on him?
Nope. He turns on them.
Does Tamatanga stay with Solo?
Yes.
Yeah, until the infamous Tonga Loa returns.
That's not Tonga Law. That's Camacho.
That's that man. Bobby's real tribal chief.
Roman Reigns is here.
No, I said tribal chief, not tribal Reich.
That's enough. That's enough.
But yeah, Jacob Fatu's winning this bitch. Before we move on, LA Knight. What's next? And has really what's next for him after this?
He's going to become LA Day.
He's gonna just be floundering around the mid card.
This is why you need a draft, Bobby, so you can move LA Knight.
He's whatever. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll wait to go to the next match until once he returns.
I mean, that would be the only option. Would be moving LA Knight to Raw, because there's pretty much nothing else he can do in SmackDown.
I think you kind of have to. There's a lot of people on like both shows where like they just need a switch and see if that something shakes them up there.
And they actually have to stick to the switches, like you said. Enough with the crisscrossing on shows.
You know they're just gonna keep doing that because they share PLEs now. But I think that probably slows down completely once Mania season's over.
Yeah, during Mania season, you're going to expect it because of all the matches, but they've been doing it for a while. Like Randy Orton going over to Raw to challenge Gunther. It's just like
It'll slow down post Mania, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of have to. He's not back yet. So let me actually pull up something. There was a comment someone made this week about Michael Cole in the group.
Oh, what? That how horrible he is? How he needs Vince?
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
That was on my mic.
Yeah, Michael Cole was terrible, and Tony Schiavone's apparently the best.
Oh, that was Jamie. It was Jamie. It was Mr. AEW Jamie.
That's just an O. Tony Schiavone is the worst commentator in wrestling today.
How anyone can say that he's the same as he was 40 years ago is ridiculous. Because that's what he did.
Good 40 years ago either.
He compared him to when he was there in WWE in '88.
Tony Schiavone is a great interviewer, one of the best of all time, but he was never good on commentary. The reason people love Tony Schiavone on commentary because it brings them back to when WCW Nitro was on and it was good.
Put Bobby back
That's
in.
it. That's it. It's nostalgia high with Tony Schiavone for people.
When you compare him to how I've loved him for 40 years, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
No, it's not nostalgia hype. Listen,
It's nostalgia high.
No, it's not. Listen, Tony Schiavone just
Gimbo.
makes me feel like an old. Just makes me feel like an old WCW Saturday night. Like hearing his voice, just some of the best announcers in the world.
Yeah, like you just said, it brings you back to old WCW Saturday night.
It does. Like
Nostalgia high.
with Michael Cole, he hasn't been the same since Vince left.
No, he misses Vince apparently. Actually, he'd probably be retired if Vince was still there. All right. So now Bobby's back and go to the next match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte.
I have said from day one that Charlotte's going to put over Tiffany, and I'm still sticking to that.
Tiffany is gonna lose, bro. They're already planning shit when Charlotte wins. What are you talking about?
I think just based on this whole build-up, I don't know how you could turn around and make Charlotte the champion with this. They're probably going to do it, but because I think there's more in a Charlotte run right now than there is a Tiffany run, even if Tiffany wins. Like, it just feels inevitable that Charlotte is going to get the title. So this is probably the place.
But maybe they're going to do what they did with Ronda and Charlotte a couple of years ago because everyone's expecting Charlotte to win at Mania. She loses at Mania and then wins it at Backlash.
I thought Charlotte won a Mania.
Or the other way around, she kept it. And then I remember a couple of years ago, it was supposed to be her and Ronda, and I forgot who was the champion, and we thought there was going to be a title switch, and they didn't switch the title until the following pay-per-view.
Comment. Tiffany winning gets her over. I think Tiffany's over regardless.
Okay, but if Charlotte wins, what do you do with Tiffany? I think it ends up being an LA Knight situation.
You probably continue that feud.
No, you're gonna continue the feud.
You're gonna need something.
Yeah, Tiffany's gonna chase the title.
But I do got Charlotte winning this match.
I bet you do.
You do too.
Oh, I do
Right.
now.
It was WrestleMania 38. Everyone thought Ronda was winning the title at Mania, and Flair ended up retaining her title, but then lost it to Ronda the following pay-per-view at Backlash.
Bet they fucking regret that one. Next match, the main event of night one: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Roman's
Who we
gonna
got
win.
winning, and who does Paul Heyman leave?
Roman's gonna win.
Yeah, Roman.
And he's gonna leave with my tribal chief.
Seth is winning, and Paul Heyman is turning on both Punk and Roman.
I think that you need to shut the fuck up.
I have Rollins winning too. With Roman's comments from the interviews pretty much saying he has a year or two left and he's done.
No, he said that after his contract expires, it's going to be another year or two. So his contract expires at WrestleMania 42, and then he says he has a year or two left after that.
Yeah, so about a year left, pretty much.
No, about 3 years left.
If it's done after...
At most,
okay.
damn, fucking Boston, Massachusetts education and shit.
Is better than Texas.
It probably is.
Massachusetts is ranked number one in education. How? I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna be truthful. I actually think that Seth is gonna turn heel. I don't know why the fuck they would put Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins. That I can see it happening, but I told y'all. I think that I told y'all, and I was right. I told y'all that I think that the favor is going to be that Paul Heyman is going to help Seth win.
I don't think there's a real favor with Seth. I think Seth was just being facetious by saying, it's so simple to owe someone a favor.
No.
I don't think there's an actual favor.
No. They don't say shit without it meaning something. I've learned. I've watched long enough. They don't, and you should know by now. They don't say shit without meaning it. They don't. They
Yeah,
don't. They don't say shit without meaning it.
Who eats the pin?
It's not going to be Punk. I think it's Roman.
Roman's gonna eat the pin.
But at the same time, I just don't see him. I don't see him losing 2 years in a row.
I mean, unless he's losing one way or the other. Whether like you said, if Seth wins, and even if Punk gets pinned, he's losing. So he's gonna lose the match. He's not winning the match.
I feel like the bigger impact would be Rollins getting another one over on Roman, and in the process hurting Punk by taking Heyman. And Punk's big moment of finally main event Mania is an L to Seth Rollins. And if Roman truly is done sooner rather than later, he's already on this part-time thing. And if not Seth, Paul still wants to continue going on as a manager and in business and stuff, this is probably where you finally separate them. And Seth would make the most sense on a.
But here's the problem though. I'm gonna tell you why I don't think Seth Rollins is winning, because he has been the last 2 weeks. He has been standing tall too much.
That is true.
He's been the last one standing like the last 3 weeks in a row. I don't think that he's winning. I think that he can afford to take the pin because because I've already heard that they're protecting Punk, so they're not gonna have him lose to
I don't
prepare
know if
him.
Seth can take the pin.
He can.
Because if you think about it,
He can. Why can't he?
he's lost really 2 out of the last 3 times against Punk clean.
But I'm telling you, I think that Roman is going to win. I think
I
that
don't think Roman.
I think Roman is going to win because I think that they're going to get that win back that he lost last year. I don't see him losing twice in a row, and I don't see Punk. They're not going to pin Punk because they're high on Punk and they want him to have a world heavyweight title match later this year. Is what I heard.
But you could still do that even with Punk getting pinned.
They're not. I don't. If
It's not like it's for a number one contendership or anything.
if Punk gets pinned, if Punk gets pinned,
I don't think
I
he's
would
getting
be.
pinned anywhere. I think the person getting pinned is either going to be Rollins or Roman.
It's going to be Rollins. I'm telling you.
So on your sense, Roman wins. Paul leaves with him. What's really next for Roman? Because he's
I
going to go
don't.
away after this.
I'm gonna be
How
honest.
do you really
I'm
bring
gonna
him
be.
back?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think. I'm gonna be honest with you. I could be. So one or two things I think is gonna happen. That. I think that Roman either wins, but is not standing at the end of WrestleMania, and I think that Seth Rollins gets Paul Heyman to turn on him, and Seth, and that it because Roman does a little shit where he goes away and shit. I think that either Roman wins, but he's not standing at the end of WrestleMania because Paul Heyman turns on him, low blows him or whatever, and he goes with CM, or he goes with Seth Rollins, or I think that Seth Rollins screws, which is more likely the scenario. Seth Rollins screws. I Seth Rollins somehow screws both CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins gets the services of Paul Heyman.
And do you think they do Roman Seth one-on-one at SummerSlam?
They should, and Roman, because Seth is really the only person Roman has not beat. I would, yes, absolutely. I don't think that Roman's going to go away for 6 months, but I would probably build that match at SummerSlam.
Because they got to close that book between the two of them.
And Roman needs his win because I'm tired of that motherfucker losing to Seth. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is it about Seth that you always fucking lose?
He gets too emotional. This is what cost him the match last year.
Like Seth Rollins, when he was champ for 4 years, Seth Rollins was the only one to not lose to Roman, not get pinned by Roman as champ.
Yeah, because that was the only match he lost. It was a disqualification, but he still lost the match to Seth.
Yeah, but I didn't say that he was going to low blow him. Who said that he was going to low blow him? I just said he was going to turn on him.
So that's night 1.
Oh God, there's another night.
Yep, night 2. Probably the worst build for a match for Mania. The WWE Women's World Championship match: Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
If Bianca turns heel, she's winning the match. If she doesn't, I have a feeling Io's going to retain.
I think Io needs the win, but I don't think she's going to get it.
What do you mean, Scott? That's what I was thinking of. But what do you mean? I do remember the feud with Rock and Austin. What do you mean? Vividly. What am I missing?
I don't know what he's talking about either.
I'm missing that one. Put Paul's contract in a briefcase. Put Paul in a Shark Tank. Paul Heyman on a forklift match.
Oh, I'm on a forklift match. Y'all,
Don't fat shame Paul.
I really think Naomi is going to screw Bianca. That's what. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yes. Naomi is going to screw Bianca. I'm telling you, that is the match going forward. That they're either going to have that match at Evolution or that. Well, no, the fuck they won't.
That's
That's going to
very long
happen sooner.
stretch.
I think that they're going into a feud with Bianca and Naomi. They're not going to turn Bianca heel.
The one hope I have for this match is, and I think just because of how she got into this match, how she's been booked really since she's returned, I don't think you could have Rhea win this match. But I have a feeling she is going to win this match.
She'll probably win this match.
And if Rhea wins this match, once again, it goes back to what was the point of Io Sky being in this?
Just to get her into the Mania.
Which is stupid.
Or I could see Io retaining.
Because honestly, Rhea does not need the title right now.
I mean, Io's the one that needs the win more between the three.
The believability. Io needs the believability that she belongs in this match because basically everybody's shitting on her being it. Like, why is she in this match?
But once again, I think Rhea's winning this just based on how Triple H books Rhea. So
see,
I think Rhea wins and Io's eating the pin.
Here's the reason why I don't think Rhea is going to win this match is because they put a lot of stock in the whole thing that Rhea can't beat Io one-on-one.
I mean, they're technically not lying. I mean, she's never.
No, I understand that, but I think if she's going to win the title from Io, it's going to be a one-on-one match that she finally gets that win versus during a triple threat match.
No, but that's not one-on-one.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think Rhea would win the match. I think they're going to hold it later down the line for her to beat Io one-on-one to win the title. So I'm thinking that Io Sky is going to retain. Because if you are going to move to Bianca and Naomi, it's going to be on SmackDown. So you're not going to have her win the Raw Women's title.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they really are having the draft and they move the Street Profits back to Raw. And them and the New Day switch titles again.
That would be horrible.
Okay. Next match is where the fuck is this card? There we go. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and Lyra.
They're gonna retain. There's no reason that they're
Yeah,
gonna
they're retaining.
There's no reason for them to lose this match.
We're talking about heel turns and stuff. I think Bailey turns heel.
Bailey's not.
It may not be here. It may be the night after Mania, but I think a Bailey heel turn is coming.
Bailey's not turning heel. She literally just turned face.
You act like they don't like flip flop a lot.
They're not gonna. Not Bailey. No, I don't see her.
But Bailey's been a baby face for about a year.
About a year.
And
They're not.
let's kind of be honest, it hasn't really worked. And Lyra needs credible opponents for the IC title.
No, Lyra needs aura.
You don't like Bird Lady? You don't woo every time she comes out?
No, what the what the fuck is that? Listen, if I wanted to see emo Charlotte Flair, I would just put a wig on Charlotte Flair.
Then you get Ric Flair in a wig.
But that stop it.
But now their Judgment Day is retaining.
No, I think the Judgment Plan. That's who I think is going to implode.
Yeah, but I see. Okay. So yeah, tag title remain. Next is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
I think AJ's eating the pin. He's at the end of his career. They're trying to get Logan Paul over.
I think Logan needs the win here. I can't remember the last time Logan won a match.
I know you fucking lying.
Well, he lost the Cody match.
I know you fucking lying.
What I just sent in the chat.
I know. Is this photoshopped?
No.
I swear to God. I know you were fucking lying.
So would that mean? So would that mean? That
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Hey, dog. Watch your mouth. What? Hey.
By the rules. By the rules.
No. I'm done. Shut up. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Solo is my tribal chief.
Solo's your tribal chief?
Shit. I cannot believe this. Why did he do that? That was just the dumbest thing to do before Mania. Like, this week has been bad for WWE Creative. I'm not even going to mention it. But, like, why? Fucking why? Fucking why?
It's been a terrible PR week for WWE.
Like, who the fuck is the head of your PR department? Did they not type out your responses?
Bro, like, there's going to be a lot of PR openings for WWE after this.
I can write out a better response.
What a terrible week for them.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is AEW before a big event-esque
Jesus.
PR performance.
They make me want
this
they make me want to watch AEW.
It also doesn't help that AEW had a really good show last night.
Jesus. Like, what the fuck?
Sometimes just say no to the interview.
I can't.
Just say no. You don't need to do every interview.
That really disappointed me.
Just say no, Joe. Just say no.
So anyway, AJ loses.
No, you don't get to say
It's
anyway.
carrying crossplay effect.
You don't get to fucking say anyway, okay? I'm having a moment. Can't you tell? Do you even care? Do you even fucking care? You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Maybe a
I think
little.
after last week's conversation that we had, this is kind of fucking hilarious.
God, what the fuck? The fuck,
It's carrying
Joe?
crossplay factor.
No, but I think it's the program that AJ goes into after Mania.
They should.
I don't think you're
Because
gonna have interference in so many matches. Because we've already talked about a possibility of interference in the EO match. Then you have the AJ interference. You know Carlito's getting involved in the 4-way. So I don't think you're gonna get
We are due for a breakaway brawl, pull apart brawl.
so
So that has to happen.
we didn't have one this week, did we?
Nope.
At least not yet.
That'll be tomorrow.
I said that's
Wait,
what I said, not yet.
Wait, did NXT have one yesterday?
But that's not
Or
Triple
SmackDown?
H. That's not Triple H booking it. It's only when
Yeah,
it's Triple H is booking.
Shit too. All right, so we're guaranteed at least a pull apart brawl sometime this week.
there's gonna be a brawl in here. Because why the fuck did you send me that? That really just
It's fucking hilarious.
you're a fucking piece of shit.
The next match for the Intercontinental Championship: Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
This is one I can't predict, honestly.
Penta's gonna win. Penta's gonna.
An argument can be made for every single one.
Penta's gonna win, and Penta's gonna win, and Judgment Day is gonna implode.
I think Dom wins, and that causes the Judgment Day implosion.
Yeah, why would Penta winning cause them to break up?
No,
one of them costs the other one the win.
Exactly. Or they have a miscommunication.
Like kind of like when I don't know if it was a Fatal Warrior triple threat match when Ray broke up the pin on Batista, and then after the match, Batista ripped his head off.
Yeah, but that was just turning Batista heel.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he had the common decency to warn him first that I'm gonna rip your fucking head off.
That was very nice of him. Most people won't even give you a heads up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was nice, put his arm around him and everything.
I don't think Judgment Day is done, but
Judgment Day is done as we have it. Finn is leaving Judgment Day.
The original 3 post Edge, that version's officially done because I think Balor will be the one out.
Then there's really no Judgment Day. Then
it is.
I think it probably becomes
Dom's gonna be the leader,
or Liv's group. One of those two.
To the other side.
See, I could see Braun retaining. I could see Penta winning. I could see Finn winning. I could see Dom winning. It's hard to call.
Because like part of me feels Braun should win his first Mania match, but like something about Dom winning is very intriguing.
Dom's not winning.
The Judgment Day feels like that's the big story in this match. So that's why I have Dom win. I don't think Balor's winning. Balor's the only one I don't think's winning. Has a chance of winning us.
So who takes the pin?
Balor.
Yeah, he's always taking the pin.
Yep.
I think
I don't think it's gonna be Penta, and I don't think Braun's eating the pin. So it's gonna be one of the 2 Judgment Day members.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna end up being Finn.
Well, if any of the other 3 win it, Dom's taking the pin.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've been reading about a Finn push for so long.
Like someday that Balor push will finally happen.
Yeah.
Someday.
I'm ready for it.
So the only match that actually has a stipulation is Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight.
Drew should win. But they're going to give it to Priest.
And then we get to hear Blair or Kelly flip out how they're burying Drew McIntyre.
Drew should win this. Drew should, yeah. Fuck it. I'm actually gonna go Drew for this one.
Drew is gonna win the match.
Yeah, I got Drew.
Actually, I want to go back real quick to the Intercontinental title match. What if JD McDonough returns to interfere?
From a fucking collapsed lung like
Dude,
just
that
2
man ain't
months
coming back.
ago?
That coming back
What the
anytime
fuck is
soon.
It wasn't
wrong
a
with
collapsed
you?
lung, it was a broken rib.
It was a
No, he had a
collapsed
collapsed
lung.
No, he's done for a bit.
Bro, what
He'll
the
probably
fuck?
be back like
He's gonna come
I
down
don't
on
know, maybe
crutches.
the beginning of summer.
He's gonna
maybe.
come down on crutches, hobbling down that long entranceway. Yeah, you're right.
Dude,
You're
man's
right.
gonna be rolled out in the iron lung.
He just did an interview with what's his face?
Dude, so he's sitting down. How the fuck do you how can you tell his health?
Who's gonna be
By him
rolling out
sitting
there with the
down.
oxygen tank, fucking
Like,
interfering?
what the fuck? How can you tell that he was sitting down? How do you? Oh my gosh!
Is a
Man's
punctured
gonna
lung,
be
not a
winded
collapsed lung.
halfway through the entrance.
What the fuck is like one is better?
But it's been 3 months.
Oh, get your ass
What?
out there!
They
You're
were
just.
collapsed.
I can see Brandon if he ever had kids. Get your ass out there! It's just a collapsed lung. You
Walk it
pussy.
off.
You fucking pussy.
Walk it off. So it's what do they call it? It's a flesh wound. Walk it off.
Get the fuck out of here!
I don't think any. I mean, you'll probably have Carlito come out and try to interfere, but he'll probably get like fucked up.
Oh.
They'll probably try and recreate the Braun Breaker spear.
Oh, this man said. This man said JD McDonough's gonna come back. Oh.
Cody
Man,
and Cena.
By the time that man gets to the ring, the match will be over.
Right. I really
No,
think
he's done. He'll probably be back again this summer.
I think the Doctor is winning this match.
Again, I think Cena's winning it too. I wasn't at first, but before the heel turn, I thought Cody was winning it, and it was a passing of the torch. But at this point, if John doesn't win, what's the point of the heel turn?
Because he doesn't.
I think there is a way where Cena loses, and you can still really justify this heel turn, because now the story is now how desperate is John to get back to that Cody match and get that record-breaking title reign.
And where does The Rock fit in during this match?
I don't know. We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Rock will be playing a factor in some scenario.
I personally think him and Steve Austin are gonna come out and.
That's going to be one. I think if Cody loses, this is going to probably piss a lot of people off. The person that ends up costing will be Travis Scott.
To lead to that tag match at SummerSlam or 6-man
or something. Because you think if Cody was a smart babyface, you had the odds stacked against you last year. You had a plan. You had guys come out, but 1 year later, the odds are somewhat stacked against you again. Rock's probably going to make some sort of appearance, and you have no backup.
Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't need backup. He just needed his left and his right.
Austin should have been the fucking guy last year instead of Taker.
You don't tell Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do. Everybody knows nobody tells Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do.
All Austin had to do was just show up.
This is why you young punks from the Ruthless Aggression era don't understand.
You telling me you wouldn't have lost your shit if you heard the broken glass during that match?
No shit, sir. Like everybody would.
No. Shane boos it.
Okay, so let me ask you, does Seth Rollins play a role in this?
No, man. What the fuck?
No.
What did he say? What did he use a specific vernacular on Monday? What's best for
Bruh,
business?
what the
It's
fuck
the
is
same thing. That's the same thing that Cena said at the Royal Rumble press conference.
I'm gonna start calling you Brandon Russo. Like, what the fuck, bruh?
No,
What is
I
with
think
you?
if you're gonna put anyone with them, it has to be a young star. It can't be someone that's up there in age also.
He's
And
38. That's
plus,
not really up there in age. It's still 10. He still has a good 10 years to him.
eh, eh, I don't know about that. His body's already starting to fucking shit the bed. But
Oh,
who Rollins? He got them like Brett Duffy knees now.
this man said, "Is Seth Rollins gonna come out, bruh? He's not even on the same.
No,
I know they've been on the
no. And
same.
plus, where's the logic in Seth aligning with them if Cena, the whole point is getting Cena the main title. Wouldn't Rollins want to be the one to get that
I'm just
and lead
saying
the
that
charge?
Triple H leaves little breadcrumbs, and the fact that Rollins used the whole best for business line on Monday,
Yeah,
and
but
it's the
you're
same.
But the best for business line was also a main thing for Seth during his heel turn when he was with the Authority.
Right,
So that could
but
have just
Cena
been a
used the same line.
breadcrumb, but that could have been a breadcrumb to
bruh.
Rollins turning heel, back
If
heel again.
we was lost in the woods and we were trusting you to use your breadcrumbs to lead us back to civilization, we would end up in the fucking ocean.
I'm not going to take it personally. Bobby's very upset right now. He's emotional.
Mm,
So it's okay. You can project it onto me. I got you, big guy. I'm just saying the best for business line. Cena used the best for business line when he was talking about entering the Elimination Chamber, and then he turned. That's all I'm saying.
Quit trying to figure out what his move is gonna be.
Well, we're predicting stuff.
I
Isn't that the
actually want to
point?
see Cody win. I actually want to see Cody win this one.
Of course you do. He's your hero.
He he's our champion, the new people's champion.
I mean,
So
he
if
is.
so, if
Didn't
Cody
need
wins,
didn't need Muhammad Ali's widow to hand him a random title belt that he made himself.
so if Cody wins, what do you do with Cena? Do you eventually give him number 17, or does he never get it?
I
You
think that
eventually
he.
give it to him. SummerSlam. There you go.
And then
Now
who
he
does he
finishes
lose it
off
to by December?
whoever you have next in line.
Was he? I
Because
think
whoever Cena, I
you
think
said
whoever
something
Cena
earlier
retains,
about it should be a younger guy, right?
it should be a young guy. It should be like a Braun Breaker or someone like that. That's the legitimate passing of the torch. He puts someone over on the way out, and that person's first title reign is beating John Cena in his final match.
It should be Mello because Mello is him.
I'd be fine with Melo winning too. But I think it would be more interesting as for heel Cena if he's chasing the title a little bit longer than it would be if Cena won and Cody goes back to chasing.
But since Cena's not going to be around as much, him chasing while showing up once a month really does nothing. Him taking the
But
title and then
Cena,
taking it away for a couple of months while Cody's trying to find a way to get to Cena. At least you have that story to be able to tell on TV every week.
No, I'm gonna tell you what.
but
No, I'm
Cena's
gonna.
most likely going to be around for most, if not the rest of the PLEs, the rest of the way.
He said that he's gonna be a part of every PLE.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
tell you
he's
what's.
Mania's
I'm,
Mania after Mania, he's like back.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what's really gonna happen. He's going to win the title, but he's it's gonna be like kind of a situation like with AJ Styles where he went around the world and shit. The only difference is that he's not going to defend the title around the world, but you'll see him like at all these different events and shit with the title, but not actually defending it.
Bobby's getting his Tanahashi versus Cena dream match, I'm guessing.
Listen, don't be mad at
Speaking of
me.
that, any stock in The Rock wearing a New Japan shirt just randomly?
No,
No,
Too many
no.
people putting stock into that.
He's from a wrestling family. He wore a shirt. Everyone playing with a Rubik's cube, and everyone flipped out trying to read some magic secret to it.
I just want to know why the fuck he took a picture just playing with the Rubik's Cube.
I think it was a actual. I think it was actually a video, and people just took a screenshot of it.
Like, what the fuck are you even doing? It's just. I think Cena's winning, but I think the better story would be Cena losing and then doing a rematch down the line. And that is your WrestleMania 41 card.
Do we have a good feeling about it? Do we think it's going to be a shit show?
I
I
don't
think
know
it'll
because
be.
I've been wrong before because I've said, well, this card is gonna suck,
Yeah.
but every time that I say that, the shit delivers.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold on.
Jay is not interfering to help Cena. No, no, no. You're not turning Jay heel.
You're definitely not turning Jay Hill.
Like, what the fuck?
To use a Gunther quote here, Jay is literally WWE's company mascot.
No, he didn't do all this just to turn him heel.
No.
What I'm worried about is there's too many matches with the option for interference, and I really hope they don't heavily rely on interference during matches.
Well, let's look at it this way. Gunther Jay is going to be clean, even though I think we get a Jimmy appearance in that. Raiders New Day could go either way. Ray versus El Grande, there'll be some fuckery, but not like true interference. Jade, Naomi will
Nay,
be.
on me, you son of a.
I don't think there'll be interference in that one.
No.
LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, we'll probably see Tamatonga
You're
do
you're
something
old.
in that.
You're OD disrespectful.
Tiffany, Charlotte, there won't be an interference. The triple threat match, there probably will be.
There's gonna be interference.
Triple threat, they can go either way. Tag
There's gonna
team match for the women's title,
there's gonna
don't
be
think there'll be
interference of my.
one.
There's gonna be interference on my boot up your ass if you don't say Naomi's name right.
Naomi.
It's
The
Naomi.
AJ Paul could be interference with Cross. The Fatal Four Way, obviously, Carlito. Priest McIntyre, I don't think there'll be an interference. And then Rhodes Cena, there'll obviously be an interference.
You're so basically what you're saying is that every other match is gonna have an interference.
They
There's
have
a
the
potential
potential for
chance
one.
of an interference.
I'm so you're an
But like some of
armchair.
them, I don't even count like as real. Like I don't count Carlito coming out to help as like a legitimate interference of the match.
You're an armchair booker.
I'm sorry, aren't you the one that told us to pause for a second while you armchaired book Big E's heel turn?
No, I said potentially. No, you asked me a scenario, and I gave you one of how they could get Biggie over as a heel,
Hold
and
up.
I gave you one that would work.
What
There's already
third
three
man?
men. There's already
This isn't
three.
It's
the
is
NWO.
is Hulk Hogan.
I was going to say it's not the
It's
NWO.
not the Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's the third man, brother.
Bro, they'll be throwing the beer bottles in the fucking ring.
They're gonna be like, well, so wait a minute. So what, Hulk Hogan's gonna be like, wait a minute. So I'm not winning the title this time.
Travis Scott is the third man. Rock,
Travis Scott's the third
Cena,
man.
Travis Scott. That's your three.
Like Travis Scott's wrestling likely at some point this year.
That's why I'm thinking SummerSlam.
I don't give a fuck about Travis Scott. I ain't never give a fuck about that motherfucker.
You know, like Fiend. You don't forgive him for Astro World because I don't. Even though Fiend hits, I still don't forgive him for Astro World. Nope. Or are you doing not forgive him for being a part of that terrible Super Bowl halftime show with Maroon 5?
I don't even know.
No, there's already 3 men. I don't think you're adding a fourth or this, that, and the other with them.
It's not the NWO. We're
The
not
blood,
doing that.
the bloodline is going to come back and help.
Umanga's coming back from the dead.
Prove Mango. Good.
Oh.
And oh my God, they're willing the skeleton down here.
Fucking Rikishi's gonna be the third man.
Rikishi's going to come out to help Jay because you got to guarantee that Jay is the top act.
But if Jay wins Saturday, that shit's gonna fucking hit. And then people are still gonna shit on him because of his fucking work rate for some reason.
Because people are hypocrites and idiots.
Okay. All right, we'll be back this Saturday right after WrestleMania Night 1, and then again Sunday after WrestleMania Night 2. And we will not be live next Thursday because
Yes, it
of the
will.
NFL draft.
Yes, it will, just not in this capacity.
Yep, the NFL draft, USD, tire first round. Well, I'll be here. I don't know about Bobby.
I'll be here.
All right, we'll have Bobby, we'll have Reyes, maybe Dane, LJ, maybe Sean, maybe McHale if we can find him. But yeah, that's going to be fun. Bobby gets to watch the Cowboys draft a running back with like the 12th pick.
Yeah, you skip all the fast wide receivers and shit and draft like a slow ass white one.
Wide receivers, I don't know, the wide receivers in this draft aren't really much.
Up to your speed. You're right. You draft a quarterback to turn him into a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, Julian Edelman. One of the greatest college quarterbacks turned wide receivers of all time. But no, I'm actually petrified for the draft next week.
You should be.
Because, like, if they don't land Carter or Hunter, they're going to be stuck picking Will Campbell, which I'm fine with. But, like, I feel like you could trade down and still get him. But, yep. That's the WrestleMania preview show. We'll be back Saturday right after WrestleMania Night 1. For reactions, we'll have maybe Drunk Patrick and Canadian Patrick joining us.
American Shane, Drunk, and Canadian Patrick.
Yep. So that's that. And we're out.